Hi, this is D'Angelo Russell.
This is Marcelino Huertas. Hey, this is Nick Young, Swaggy P, and you're listening to the Sports Corner on AM 590, The Answer.
Welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner. I'm your host, Gabe Real. You can follow me on Twitter at Gabe Real Sports. Last night, if you heard the Sports Corner segment that I do right before the Laker game, you saw who my guests were going to be on today. And so without further ado, I'm just going to bring them in. We're going to talk some Lakers. We're going to talk about his passion for his Isetta Car, hot rods, and we're just going to have fun. So without further ado, Greg and Kiki, who are the owners of the Laker Isetta Car, are here on the Sports Corner. Thank you guys for joining me today.
Wow,
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
And I promise you, I have been trying to put my YouTube videos up with all these great interviews. It's just crazy. Today is Unite IE, the event, and I was there all morning today from like 6 a.m. to like 5, and it's just been a crazy schedule. Can't complain. I'm not going to complain because it's good to be busy. It's good to be employed.
That's true.
It's good to do because I love to do radio here. So all around, I can't complain. So yes, but that's the reason why. Sorry for the hold up. I have great videos from Mike Brito, great videos from the Peanut Man, the interview with the Johnny Anonymous who put out the book that he hates the NFL. It's this guy who he's been in the NFL for 4 years already. He's still a current player, but he hates the NFL. Wow. And the book is amazing. So so I got to put out the interview so you can check it out. And I look forward to April 15th, I believe is the date. It's 2-3 days after Kobe's final game. But I'm going to be interviewing Jeff Passan, who is the chief, not the chief, but he's a lead columnist for Yahoo Sports, and he put out the book called The Arm. So I put it down on the YouTube clips if you can see the book.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So looking forward to talking to him about that. It's a book that's it revolves around pitchers and pitching in baseball. So looking forward to that. But let's get to what we're here for, which is the Isetta Car. So this car, the way that I know it, and we're gonna kind of start backwards and then go forward and so forth. But the way that I know the car is I watch Family Matters, and I saw Steve Urkel.
Bless his heart.
I saw Steve Urkel come in with this little car that opened in the front.
Right.
Didn't open on the side, and it opened in the front. So when I saw your car for the first time at Citizens Business Bank right before a preseason game, I couldn't believe that I'm seeing that car in person, and furthermore, it's a Laker car. So where did the idea come from, first of all?
Well, I've restored about 25 of these in my history. I reproduce parts for them, and I'm tired of doing the same old thing to them. So I thought, what's my other passion? My other passion is the Lakers. I prided myself on watching every single Laker game.
Okay.
And I thought, why don't I make a car and make it a Laker player?
So before you go on, you've had these vehicles, like you started this collection years ago.
20 years ago.
20 years ago. The car is what year is the Isetta Car?
This one is a 1958. They were made between 55 and 61.
Okay, so there's a little history there. So this car is not that new. I mean, when did they stop producing the Isetta? Do you know?
In 61.
In 61.
Yes.
Okay, so you've had these vehicles, 20 of them?
We started off with, I think 25 of them. We bought a collection.
When we got married, just about almost 10 years ago now, Greg had 3 cars, and one of them was an Isetta. He had 2 other
vehicles,
classic cars.
Okay.
And since we've been married, he has accumulated quite a collection, and he has quite.
And I'm supported by her.
Absolutely.
100%.
It's
awesome.
Really become a fun hobby.
Okay.
But he has accumulated quite a few unrestored Isettas, and this is just what he's started doing with these things. And the Laker car is just awesome.
So you have different types of Isetta cars? Like,
yes.
Do you have what is it? Like a camo, like a military type? I mean, what do you?
No. I've got a bubble window cabriolet that they only made 32 of them. I've got a sliding window cabriolet. I have a 1955 there's only like 2 of them in the U.S. They were never exported over here. And I do ground up restorations, perfect restorations, or I like to get a little wild and doll them up a bit.
And most people in the classic car world like to keep things original.
Okay.
So he has done a lot of original cars. But then he started doing some with his
Playing with
special
the-
touch,
Yes.
Right.
special colors and whatnot.
For example, the Laker car,
And then
the
that
wheels
came
is
most
like the
recently.
Converse or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was my whole idea of making it a player, was having the wheels be his shoes. And what was,
That's what I was about to say, because a lot of people
Right.
don't know that the
Right.
original basketball
Right.
shoe is a
Chuck-
Converse.
Right.
Chuck
It's a
Taylor's.
Right.
Yes.
Now, so I'll put the shirt up right now.
Yeah, I
But
know, it's kinda hard to
what
tell.
what I've I own Chuck Taylors.
That's
I grew
awesome.
up with
Yes.
Chuck Taylors.
Right.
You know, I
Yes.
had the blue and the black and even the
Right.
white ones.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I have them on for the entire day, my foot hurts because
Right.
they're so flat.
They are.
There's
They are.
there's really no what's it called cushion.
Right.
There's,
Yeah.
there's really nothing.
Another arch support, nothing. Yeah.
It's crazy to think that was the original basketball
Right.
shoe, and
It is.
especially now that you see the Jordans and the LeBron shoes and so forth, how they're so sophisticated and huge, and
Yeah.
it's
and they're
it's
still so popular.
yeah, exactly.
They
They're
are.
very popular
Amazing.
now. Back when I think it was like the early '90s, I remember going to like Shoe City or whatever, like $20.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now they're back up to like 40, 45. It's like
At
buying an
least.
advance card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
they're no longer $20 like they used to be. So okay, so you got this car, you wanted to convert it to a Laker vehicle. Was that the original idea? Like, I want
Yes.
to make it a Laker car?
I wanted to make it a Laker car.
Okay.
There were two famous colors that Chrysler used. One was plum crazy, and the other one was banana yellow. I thought those are the perfect colors to paint this as the purple and gold. And then we did I did the graphics, and then we decided, well, we can't make a player out of it. Let's do everything we possibly can to associate this with the Lakers and basketball. So the last thing we did, starting from the end to the beginning, was what to do with the sunroof. And then it hit me, man, let's make it a net so we can shoot basketball into it.
Right.
The seat is made out of basketball material. We sewed it to look like a basketball. We embroidered Spalding in it. And then we thought, well, what better but to have some graphics on the inside. So we put a panel of a very famous photograph of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and James Worthy sitting there looking down the court. So I have that on one side. And on the other side, I've got a famous shot of Jack. And Adam Sandler sitting on the side of the court, looking down the court. And they are all looking to the front door that opens from the front. And the panel up there is a famous picture of Kobe doing an awesome slam dunk.
That's the one thing that I really appreciate about the vehicle. Number one is Lakers.
Yes.
Number two, it's the detail that you have with the net. The car, the seats are like the basketball material,
Right.
like a basketball
Right.
material. But the thing that I'm gonna take it an extra step. Being a fan of the Lakers, you know Jack Nicholson's always gonna be there. You know that a lot of the players that come to LA, they want to play because of the glamour,
Right.
of the lights,
Yeah.
Yes.
the weather,
Showtime.
showtime.
Right.
I mean, it's seriously.
Yes.
And you have all of that in this vehicle.
Right.
So, the car.
Oh, don't forget the Laker girls.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah, we got the best shot of the Laker girls behind the seat.
But here's the one thing about the Lakers. The one thing I don't like about that. Well, I'm not one to talk. I mean, but for them, it sucks because it's a rotating job.
Right.
They have to audition
Every year.
Every
Yeah,
year,
and they work hard.
Exactly. So the picture that you have there was only the squad for 1
Correct.
year, and then it changed the
Yeah.
following year.
Yeah.
And to get it to fit, we had to cut two of the girls off on the ends to make it to fit right.
This is some
And
story.
at the
Yeah.
business bank arena, their family members came up and were excited because they knew the photograph and said,
Oh,
"Where's my
no.
daughter?"
We had to cut her out.
We had to cut her
Oh,
out
was
to make it to
horrible.
fit properly.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
They were devastated.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah, an early an early glimpse of when you get, because it's brutal. I mean the
Yeah.
show, and you can see the show Laker Girls.
We've
Yes.
seen it.
Oh, yeah.
On Time Warner.
Yeah, it's very good.
brutal. I mean, these
Yes.
girls go there. It's lines galore. People
Right.
come
Oh,
from
yeah.
like Atlanta, Texas. They come from all parts of the country. And it's like they try out, and okay, next round, and then the next round, okay, the veterans now. You throw the veterans in after the first round. It's crazy.
and they have to qualify too.
Exactly. And they have to qualify as
you don't
well.
get a free ride.
So car created. You have the Laker girls. You have the players. when did you start displaying the vehicle? Like, how did you start displaying it? Or
It's like we kept it undercover for a while.
so you created it and it's set in the garage.
Right. We wanted
Because
to
our team
premiere
wasn't
it.
doing that well.
It hasn't been doing that well.
We waited until opening, until the Citizens Business Bank Arena. That was its premiere, correct?
Right.
So that day I met you guys was when you guys premiered that vehicle.
That was the first time it showed. Well, actually, the first time was when I took it over there to show it to them, if they wanted to let us display it or not. And they went crazy. They said, "We got to have this thing here."
So okay. So let's take it back to that point. Cars created. When did you finish it? May, July, or a year before the game?
Oh no, probably.
Was it months before the game?
Probably
So 6 months.
Only a couple months.
So when you finished the vehicle, we were towards the end of that season. I can't remember the year right now, but you were towards the end of that season. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna wait. Not comfortable showing the car just yet.
Right.
And then over the summer, you're like, okay, new season. Let me go see what's going on. And then you went to Citizens Business Bank Arena.
That's correct. And it was really tough because in the summer months, that's when all the car shows are. And to not be able to take that to a car show the whole summer, it was just eating us alive.
So was this a personal thing? Like you wanted the debut to be at a Laker game? Is it like a personal thing?
I'm a Laker fan. I am the Laker fan.
Right.
You're listening to the Sports Corner here on AM 590 The Answer. Joining me right now, we have Greg and Kiki, who are the proud owners of the Laker Isetta Car. You can check out the vehicle. You can check out pictures of it. You go to facebook.com/sportscorner590. I got the video there. And that's my next question. So you came out to Citizens Business Bank, and that's where Time Warner Cable approached you and said,
correct.
What?
We want to put you on TV with this thing. We want to come out and interview you. We want to drive around in it. We want to film this thing because they thought it was just so incredible. And not to, bolster myself, but I'm just thrilled with the thing. The headlights, the taillights, they're all hand painted to look exactly like basketballs. And basketballs have these little dots on them. It took us forever to hand spray all those stinking little dots all over those headlights. But it's what makes the car what it is.
Right.
You guys were kind enough, and thank you so much for bringing in some goodies. They brought in some Isetta T-shirts, and the shirt says "Go Lakers," but the word "Go" is the letter O, and "Go" is made up of the car of Isetta. So when my YouTube video finally comes up, I promise you're gonna be able to see it. But I'm gonna give away a couple of T-shirts. Stay tuned later on this segment. I will tell you how exactly I will be giving them away. So, car, they approached you, but right now the segment was only on Planeta Lakers.
Planeta Lakers.
It's in Spanish.
Yes, and we had a huge party the night of the filming of it, not knowing it was going to be in Spanish. Had all of our friends over.
Airing.
Yeah.
We had all these people in our house. It comes on, and nobody can understand a thing anybody is saying.
It was pretty funny.
Have they told you? Because that's one of the things when I promoted your video, I did say make sure you grab your Spanish-speaking friend.
Yes.
That's
We're
right.
in Southern California. I'm pretty sure you have one.
Yes,
but
many.
Many. So have they told you guys a timetable on when possibly it's no?
I don't think.
Well, we were in a segment with these crazy guys who had a house down in Lower Ontario that was done up by Lakers, but they moved and the new owners took it all down. And I don't think that Planet Lakers is even being aired anymore because they can't find ridiculous fans like Kiki and myself.
Unfortunately, once the Lakers start winning again,
it's going to come back, which is going to be real soon.
Yeah,
I hope so, and we'll get into that in just a few moments because I love talking the future of the Lakers with Laker fans, but that's unfortunate because especially and that's it's a knock on the LA fan base. My wife and I went to see a Laker game about 3-4 years ago. It was against I think it was the Milwaukee Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. We got to the game. Middle of first quarter, And that's already, I kind of fit into what happens with the LA fan base. LA fans are always late to the games. So there's one. I'm going to put
Isn't it
myself
called
on
fashionably late?
it was fashionably late.
Yes.
It's not
Not these fans.
well, here's
we
the thing.
don't show up late.
We live in the Inland Empire, so traffic.
Right.
I'm going to blame it
All
on
right.
traffic.
Okay.
But when we get there, there was a couple in front of us who it seems like they just met and they were making out the entire...
Not watching the game.
Exactly. They were making out the entire first quarter and half of the second quarter.
Wow.
And the reason why it was half of the second quarter is because in the middle of the second quarter, they got up and they left. Now, these seats were not bad seats. They were pretty good seats. I'm like right in the middle. I wasn't courtside, but I was fairly good seats. And that's what the thing is. A lot of the fan base that I've noticed in LA, they're corporate. They're very business.
Yes.
And they just come to try to get a client, which is get your
Right.
money. I'm not going to complain.
Right.
But the majority of the people that do that, and that's a wasted wasted fan base.
Correct.
And that's what I can't stand. Where right now the Lakers is when I feel like when the Lakers when a team is losing a lot, or they're not winning, it's harder for you to root for them than when they're winning. And this is when they need more of the support. And this is when you
That's
see,
true.
and this is when you don't see the support. I have not seen a single Laker flag outside in the cars.
Right.
But when the Lakers were winning, I feel like I saw like every other vehicle, and it's like, come on.
You know
now
what?
I see Clipper stuff. Like, no.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. People have come up and told me, "Aren't you sorry you didn't make a Clippers car?"
Right.
And I'm like, "That's blasphemy, man! I'm a Laker fan."
So,
Yes.
what has been the reception since? I know. So I remember I'm meeting you guys. It was in October of. It was like 2 years ago, I believe.
Right.
And then we had a trunk and treat event for our station where we had the Halloween.
Yes.
At the Grove, at the Church Grove in
Right.
Riverside, and I remember a lot of people coming up and they just loved the vehicle. Is that the kind of reception that you receive? I mean, tell me a little bit of.
Yes, it is. They come up, and the very first thing is it's like they've met Elvis Presley or the Pope. They want to get a selfie with it. So we've seen so many
True.
people want to get a selfie, and when we tell them, "Would you like us to take your picture sitting in it?" They go crazy. It's like, this is the best thing. It's like winning the lottery.
Right.
That we'd actually let them sit in our car.
I will admit that I thank you guys. You actually let me sit in the car when I
nice.
met you guys that day, and it was very cool to sit inside the vehicle. But to me, it's not just because it's a Laker car, but again, I grew up Family Matters.
Yes.
I grew up watching that,
Yeah.
and it's okay. So you said thank you to Urkel. Is that? I mean, did he put that car back on the
He
map?
put it
for
on
you,
the
or-
map. He put it on the map because when you take it somewhere, one of our regular ones, people will always come up and say, "Oh, that's an Urkelmobile," and a lot of the guys in our clubs don't like
They don't like that.
And I tell them, "Man, he put us on the
Right.
map. We would not be here today with the."
Because you're right. There's a lot of weird cars.
There are. There's
Yes.
and we have a bunch more.
There's a car that's like a 3-wheel car.
We have 3 of them.
We have
You-
those.
you-
We have one. It's a 3-wheeler, and the whole engine, transmission, and front drive wheel pivots, and that's how you steer it by turning the engine.
Have you flipped over when you make a right or a left?
No,
No, but
you
people
to
have.
lean,
I know, that's what I'm saying.
and you have to lean. It's really scary.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Like it's like a motorcycle.
So let's get to that.
Okay.
So the passion of you, it didn't start because you're a Laker fan. Your passion actually, I believe, starts with hot rods. That's
Yes,
where it
yes.
started.
It started
and
with
then
hot
you pretty
rods.
much you incorporated. I'm a Laker fan and I'm a hot rod fan. Bam! I must put both of them together.
There's a Laker world out there, and there's an auto world out there, or an Isetta world, and I'm gonna make them collide.
Have you met Jay Leno? Because I know he's a
we
big.
have
Many
3
times.
times.
Okay.
Many times.
He is so awesome.
So did he talk about your collection? Is that how you
not-
guys
Not
know?
so much.
Not really, but he's very,
'Cause I
very
know he's
social
yeah.
and very, very nice guy.
Because I know he's a big car guy. He's got
He is.
he's back on
and
TV
that's
with
how
the
we've
car
met
show.
him, is at car shows.
Yes.
And so he's come up and looked at our cars, and he appreciated our cars, all micro cars.
All micro cars.
And so yeah, he's very, very gracious.
Very, very.
Yes. But recently, I built a mega truck, a blown 426 Hemi exposed behind the cab. The thing is awesome. We got contacted last week by Jay Leno's Garage about doing an episode with our truck.
So now you're back on TV.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe in English.
In English.
Keep me posted on that. That'd be very cool. So we can
Absolutely will.
bring you back up on that. So the vehicle, we're the home of the Lakers, and it was sad that when we went back out there again this year, we didn't see you guys.
Oh,
And I think we had a
correct.
conversation where, yeah, you guys were like, yeah, we're going to be there again.
Yeah, just some conflicts of interest was what it was.
And you just...
But you wouldn't believe, we wore our shirts and sitting in our seats, we actually had the people behind us ask us where the car is this
Yeah.
year. How come it's not
So
here?
they recognize you.
They recognize
Yeah.
it, recognize the car, and they says, where is that car?
Without getting too detailed and too much into... without getting too deep
Sure.
into where the conflict of interest came from. Did it come from the Lakers or did it come from somewhere else?
It came from somewhere
It came
else.
from somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, because that's one of the things
Because Jeannie Buss loves it. She absolutely loves our car.
Really?
Yes. She hasn't seen it in person yet.
We've communicated with her via Twitter.
Okay.
And so she's replied and really liked the car.
Well, okay, so I asked you if the car has been autographed by anybody. You said no.
No, it has not.
Have you reached out to Jeannie and said, hey, would you like to autograph the vehicle?
No, we haven't.
We, not directly. I don't think we've actually
That'd be pretty
directly
cool,
asked
actually.
that
It
question.
really would.
Yeah.
But talking about our bonus room that has all our Laker paraphernalia in it, we don't have anything signed. What this stuff is, it's personalized stuff that we've attended. All the pictures and the photographs are us at games.
Correct.
I have a Matryoshka doll set of the Lakers that I bought in downtown Moscow, and those just bring back memories of us and the Lakers.
Very, very, very cool. So Jeannie Buss reached out to you. Any you before I get to that, you say you have a bunch of personal stuff. There's another item that you added. Now, last night when we talked on the Sports Corner, I asked you there's something different that you added. You said no, but then you're like, wait, there is actually
That's
one
right.
thing. What is that that item?
Okay, it's a long story short. My brother's wife's ex is 7'2" and was.
That's a woman, by the way. 7'2".
No, his wife's ex.
Oh, his wife's sex. I'm so sorry. I was like, whoa.
It could be that, but
Whoa,
no,
whoa.
this was a guy.
She's 6'4" or something. So.
Yeah, she's
That's still
6'4".
pretty mighty
Right.
tall. Okay,
Yeah.
Very
continue.
tall.
All right.
And he found out about my Laker car and has played ball with Shaq and got me one of his shoes. And so now we have one. I don't know where the shoe came from. He didn't give us that much
So
information.
this is actually...
It has his number on it.
It was
though.
previously owned by Shaq.
Yes.
Shaq's stinky foot was in
Yes.
there at one point in his
Yes.
life.
That's right.
Yes.
And I wear an 11.5, and with my shoe on, I can still put my foot in
Oh.
his shoe.
I'm guessing
it's
this
huge.
thing is that big.
So it
It's
would be
huge.
fun to get an autograph of that someday.
That definitely would be
Right.
cool. Besides Ginny, anybody else reached out to you guys about the vehicle?
No one's reached out.
Like, well, not reached out, but like, hey, I love your car. You know, oh my God, that's such a cool. I wish I could meet it in person. Anything
Well,
like that.
it's kind of a sad story. After the game, one of the injured players at the first, preseason game we had
at the Ontario.
at Ontario
First
came
game,
out,
yeah.
was walking around after everybody else left, came up and just loved the car.
Do you remember who that was?
No, because
He's the one that got injured that night,
and
pretty bad.
and he didn't make the team.
Oh, okay, I
This
can't
is
remember.
so. This would be
Okay.
just last
But
year.
we had shirts all set out to
mean-
give the Laker players. We had them
Yes.
made in triple extra large and long to give them all their own
and we
special
still
shirt.
have them.
And we still have them. We'd love to give them to him someday. But he is the only one. He didn't make the team. He's the only one that got a shirt.
They got a
That's
shirt.
right.
That's right.
That's right.
There you go. Well, we're coming up. We got a couple minutes left, and I wanted to ask you. This is with Kobe Bryant's final year. Do you have a special memory? Do you have are you gonna miss? I mean, I'm gonna miss Kobe being out there. I'm gonna miss number 24, and because I feel like every time I see him, it brings me back to all of those great memories of him just hitting those clutch shots and winning
Yes.
it for the Lakers. That's what I see. Right now, when I see him, I don't see a Kobe of now. I see like my memories of what he's brought to the table.
Me too. Yeah.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
but he's still playing with
Pretty
the big
darn good.
boys.
Right.
he
He's
is
going out a winner.
as long as he can play, because like his shoulder's been bothering him.
That's right.
There's some games. It's unfortunate. We're coming to the final stretch. Some of these people can't. The Laker tickets skyrocketed. The
Yeah.
prices just went up as soon as he said, "I'm gonna retire."
Yes.
And it sucks that some of the games he's not able to play. So, future of the Lakers, we're kind of biased. Yeah, it's gonna be great in the future. But what are you gonna miss of Kobe? What has been your favorite memory of Kobe Bryant?
My favorite memory, because
Okay.
I know Greg has a lot of them, would be the game he played and made those 85 points.
81.
81.
Pardon
81.
me. 81 points.
Yes.
That was such an awesome game.
And I don't really think it's ever gonna get beat.
And
I don't think
I've
so
never
either.
seen a game like that. I didn't become a fan until I met Greg,
Uh-huh.
and now I'm a big fan. But that game was so awesome.
Yes, I was excited to
What
see.
a memory to be able to
Yes.
watch it
Oh, yeah.
live and
No.
not DVR it.
It's just
you
it's just
know?
crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, a lot of coaches have said that they would never have allowed him to score that much points on them. That they would have tried to foul him and so
Right.
forth. But it is what it is, sir.
Well, I kind of compare him to Magic Johnson.
Okay.
The big memory I always have on the teams is Magic Johnson's very first game they won, and he came running up and gave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this great big hug. And Kareem looked at him and says, "Man, this is just the first game of the season. What are you doing this for?" He was just so psyched about playing.
Nice.
And I've played basketball in my entire life. I've got a knee replacement to prove it. And seeing what Kobe has done through all those injuries that he's had, the Achilles, I've torn my Achilles, and to still be playing with the big boys, it is an awesome feat for him.
Especially when he got the injury and still came out and shot those free throws. And then he left.
He will be missed.
Guys, you're gonna meet the car. If you're gonna have an opportunity to see it in person, July 23rd at Ultimate Pastime. We're gonna have the Marc Neiman is doing another event for a bobblehead. For this time, it's gonna be Nancy Bea, and also for the Roger Owens, who is the Peanut Man at Dodger Stadium. So you can come out, check out the car in the morning, and get your camera ready. The man's going to have Dodger dogs, drinks, and so forth. I'm going to have some stuff to give away. So we'll see you on July 23rd. And yeah.
I want to add
For sure.
hashtag Lil Laker,
Okay.
LILLAKER.
Okay.
And you can just see pictures of
Perfect.
the car.
Just go to hashtag on Instagram and Twitter.
Lil Laker.
LIL Laker.
Correct.
LIL Laker. Perfect.
Yep.
Greg, Kiki, thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining me on the Sports
you.
Corner
It was a
today.
pleasure.
So fun.
Anything else that you guys missed? Remember the social media, facebook.com/sportscorner590. Till next time, enjoy the games.